Welcome back, Strops23 here, back again with some knife therapy, and today we're going to talk about strops. And if you're new to the hobby, you don't know what a strop is, it's one of the best ways to maintain the edge of your knife without removing any noticeable steel. You're removing on a micro level. And basically what a strop does is, you know, when you sharpen a knife at the apex where the tip of my fingers are, you're shooting to get that apex perfectly met, you know, at the center, at the center to each other right there. But a lot of the times you'll have a micro burr, or it could be a, you know, a well-pronounced burr. You know, from sharpening, you start folding over some steel. You know, I'm exaggerating, folding over some steel on one side of the apex, and then you fold it over, and then you're trying to get that, either that burr to break off, or you're trying to refine that burr, because you get these teeth-like effect coming like this into the apex, and the more you refine it, you'll start bringing it in there. So my way to keep my knives maintained that have a nice sharp edge, I'll use them, and most of the time after using them, I'll hit them a few passes on the strop. If, you know, and these are all for different stuff or different grits on these strops. And you know, if once this doesn't work, I go to the Spyderco Sharp Maker. I'll put a micro bevel on it, and then I'll come back to the strop, and it's good to go for a while too. And all that without hogging off a bunch of steel, taking it to the sharpening stones or your sharpening system, whatever you do to sharpen your knives. But let's kind of go in. These are some of my favorite strops, and I'm going to talk about each one and, you know, what I like about them, what I don't like about them. And we'll start first with this guy. This is a strop from Nagy Plus. This is my second one from them. I got this one not too long ago. You can get this off of Amazon. It comes in at $25 on Amazon. It comes completely loaded like this. That's one thing I like about this strop. I mean, I don't know how they load theirs up, but you will pretty much never have to add compound to this. You can condition it by putting a little bit of olive oil on it, rubbing it in there, or mineral oil, rubbing it in there, and get some of the metal shavings off of the strop surface. You can also spray, if you want to spread the compound out some, you can spritz some rubbing alcohol onto the leather and just rub it in around there, and you'll spread out the compound evenly again. But as you can see, they don't, like, every bit, you can see the compound coming off. Every bit of the leather surface is covered with the green jeweler's rouge, and this strop works pretty well. It's, you know, fairly thin leather. It's pretty rigid, and it is, I can't recall, I'm pretty sure this is on the, this is on the nap side of the leather. You have that smooth side of the leather, and then you have that furry side, that's the nap side of the leather, and I'm pretty sure that this is the furry side up. It's glued to a piece of MDF, I think that is. There you go. There's their stuff right there. Yep. And, you know, you just hold it. You can either hold it in hand. Let me grab I know I got a knife somewhere around here. Yep. You can either hold it in hand and, you know, strop like this, back and forth, keeping your fingers underneath like that. Or you can lay it onto a bench stone holder or a table or something, put something where it won't slide on you, and just do it like that, however way you want to do it. One drawback from this guy is that if you do want to hold it in hand, you know, you got to be careful to keep your fingers out of the way of the blade. And it's not my favorite method to do, even though I use this a lot. But that's the Nagy Plus strop block. All right, then we'll go to one that I just picked up recently. Got this one off Amazon. And this one is, I don't know if you can see that right there, made by Beaver Craft, right there in the wood. This is a double-sided paddle strop. As you can see, it has a handle on there. That's something that I really enjoy, so I can hold it back here while I'm stropping my knives. You can let him out. Sorry, my dog's scratching at the door. You can hold it back here, strop your knife, and being that it's double-sided, as you can see, I got this one loaded with 0.5 micron diamond paste on this side, and you flip it over right here. I got 1 micron diamond paste on this side, so I start with the 1 micron, and I flip it over and finish it off with the 0.5. On this guy right here, it came with the smooth side of the leather on both sides. And I like using the smooth side of the leather whenever I'm getting to my, my finished polishing, my polishing microns, your finer grit. I like using the rough, hairier side of the leather whenever, I need a more coarse finish, like say the green compound. This guy right here comes in at $18, which I thought was a great deal for a double-sided strop. It does come with some green compound, Jeweler's Rouge green compound. This is considered their medium size. It's a 14 inch all the way from here to the end of here. Or the actual leather size is 9.45 inches this way and 2 inches wide. This is the size that I like to use for my folding knives. I tend to like using a little bit wider of a strop whenever I'm doing kitchen knives and stuff like that, or longer fixed blades. They do have a large version of this guy right here that is $25, and it's a 3x8. And this is also comes with lanyard loop. I like tying something like that so I can hang this up on a little hook that I have on the wall. And this guy right here, like I said, has 0.5 micron diamond paste and 1 micron diamond paste on it. So this is, my finishing. Get this guy out of the way. Oh, and if somebody probably asked, the wood that they use right here is ash wood. All right, and my third final strop is probably it's my favorite strop that I own. And I got this off of Instagram from Bastard Strop. And it's basically a little EDC strop. As you can see, it has these little 3D cutout plastic covers so you don't get any contamination on your grit. I use a wrap a rubber band around this so it holds it tight so nothing gets on there. He does sell a little slide cover to do the same thing. And you can hook it, I usually hook it to my backpack, and it goes with me pretty much everywhere I go. One thing I like about this guy right here is, it's quality all the way around. It's actually called, if you go on their site, it's called the Little Bastard Green Glow Double-Sided Strop. That's a mouthful. This guy's $20. It's 1 inch wide, 4 inches long. And like I said, perfect for the EDC size. It's got numbers on it for designating which one you do first and second. So your first one, you'll put your higher grit micron, and then your finer grit will go on your second final stage right there. And I like this because it's on this stiff plastic backing right here. And as you can see, that leather's real thin. It is on the smooth side, so it's definitely gonna be for your final finishing. And I like that it's that thin because it leaves it pretty rigid. I'm not a huge fan of, the softer leather because it seems to convex a lot more, especially if you accidentally put a little bit too much weight. I like the rigid. I can feel my bevel easier going back and forth, but that's just my preference. If you haven't ever stropped a knife before, you're going to have to, see what works best for you. There's tons of tutorials out there. I'm not an expert on that, so I'll leave that to all my sharpening experts to give you all the details. I'm just telling you, strops that I like that work good for me. So there's there's the strops that I've purchased. Now, if you're thinking, you know, I don't really have the money to be purchasing a strop, but I would like to do it. You can make your own strops so very easy. If I wanted to, I could take this belt that's on right now, this leather belt, and I could cut this up and glue it to a piece of hardwood and use any leather belt. But you want it to be, you know, you don't want it to be too soft because it'll round that edge over on you. Even cheaper than that, my buddy Super Steel Steve turned me on to this. Go to your local hardware store or paint shop and pick up some paint sticks. That's all this is right here. This is one of those large paint sticks from Home Depot. And you put your compound on this. This one has diamond paste on it, 1 micron, another size 0.5, as different. You can either put them on both sides, but they're so cheap. If you want to just leave it on one side, you can. I cut it like this because I set it on top of something, and sometimes I hold it in my hand as well. And it's very cheap. Once it's completely loaded like this, this one's probably on its last leg, so I'll be tossing this one and starting over again. You don't have to use compound at all to strop a knife. It just makes it cut a lot quicker with different compounds. You can use jeweler's rouge on it. You can use diamond paste. You can use pretty much anything that's got any kind of grit to it if you want to speed up the process some. One more last thing that you can use. This is balsa wood. Pretty much this is this type of stuff that you get those little model airplanes that we used to make when you're little. That's what they're made of. Very, very light wood. Also, the Wicked Edge has balsa wood strops. I like balsa wood strops, and I like this one a lot because they're rigid. And I don't know, like I said, I feel it. I feel the edge better with that rigid feeling. You can get this at a lot of your hobby shops. That's where I got this. Very, very cheap. You can affix this to a piece of hardwood or something, or whatever you'd rather. Or if you don't have anything like that, you can just lay it on a flat surface and strop like that. So there you go. That's just some of the options. Leather belt, you know, paint stir stick, like my buddy Steve showed me. Balsa wood, one of my favorites. Kangaroo wood's a great finishing strop. Kangaroo leather is a great finishing strop because it's very, very smooth. This Beaver Craft strop, nice. All these strops I enjoy a lot. If you have any questions about any of them whatsoever, leave it down in the comment section and I'll help you out as best I can. If I can't answer the question, I will point you in the right direction. So if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up so I know you enjoyed it, you know, so I know if y'all want me to keep doing videos like this in the future or not. And if you like my videos and you're not already, hit that subscribe button. And you don't want to miss any of my content. Hit that bell notification button too, and you won't miss anything. All right, guys and girls, hope everybody's having an absolutely wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.